If you're struggling to stay consistent with your training, then you've come to the right place. Today, I'll unveil the secret to staying motivated, the same secret used by those who excel on the stage. Hello, brothers and sisters of iron. We all experienced that moment when the initial excitement for training fades and you find yourself struggling to muster the motivation needed to keep going. Let's delve into the root of the problem and explore some effective strategies to address it. Why is it that on one hand, some aspire to build a muscular and aesthetically pleasing body but struggle to maintain a regular training regimen, while on the other hand, some train so intensely that they risk overtraining and strain their social relationships due to extreme diets? This discrepancy should make you realize that it's not always about forcing ourselves to do something we dislike. Let me pose a question to you. Imagine that on your first day at the gym, someone approaches you and asks, "Do you want to see results in this discipline?" If you answer yes, they propose a deal: train every day and swear off junk food for life. No more alcohol, no more dining out with friends, no more romantic dinners, and no skipping gym sessions. Who in their right mind would agree to such terms? Certainly no one. This lifestyle is unequivocally unhealthy, and from personal experience, I sincerely hope you never reach such extremes. Yet, many individuals dedicate themselves so fervently to this discipline that they live this way for periods of time. How is this possible? In psychology, it has been theorized that motivation comes into distinct forms: extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic motivation stems from external factors such as rewards. For example, a student may be motivated to study because they want good grades, to feel accomplished, or to avoid parental punishment for poor grades. However, this type of motivation is often short-lived. If the external rewards disappear or cease to matter, so does our motivation. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, arises from the pleasure derived from the activity itself. Consider that same student who lacks the desire to study but eagerly spends afternoons playing soccer with friends or immersed in video games. They don't need external incentives for that, they're driven by sheer enjoyment. To emotionally grasp the difference between these motivations, reflect on these moments in your life. Recall times when you declined invitations to go out due to rain or fatigue. Then, contrast those with the excitement you felt during a first date with someone you liked. Did the rain bother you then? When we're deeply passionate about something, we pursue it relentlessly, regardless of external factors. Now that you understand these two motivations, you can see why some people last only a month at the gym, they lack enjoyment in training, and fail to see tangible results in the mirror. Of course, they leave. Conversely, those who revel in seeing their personal bests increase and receive compliments are inclined to develop a genuine obsession. Intrinsic motivation alone is sufficient to maintain consistency indefinitely. However, when combined with extrinsic motivation, the combination becomes potent enough to foster aspirations of competing or pursuing fitness modeling, albeit rigorous and challenging paths. Allow me to share a personal anecdote my girlfriend used to loathe deadlifts. She doubted her technique, experienced back pain with each attempt, and struggled to increase her lifting weight. After we got engaged, I persuaded her to let me fix that. Despite her initial reluctance, she now adamantly refuses to skip deadlifts at the gym, even when I ask her to do so. Why the change? Because she doubled her lifting capacity in 6 months and witnesses the physical effects of training on her body. I'll give you another example. Imagine offering candy to someone who's been preparing a competition for months. For them, refusing is far easier than accepting. It would require immense willpower to indulge after all their sacrifices. Once you comprehend that those who are incredibly consistent with training don't necessarily possess more willpower than us, but have merely activated normal brain mechanisms that drive us to repeat pleasurable actions, what should we do? Of course, making the activities we want to engage in enjoyable. Step number 1, choose an activity you enjoy. Remember my first video. In many disciplines, you can sculpt a toned physique. There's more to fitness than just bodybuilding. Some yoga practices can even build muscle mass. If you don't enjoy any particular activity, the gym remains a solid option. In that case, focus on selecting a training program you enjoy. You might find learning squats more stimulating than spending an hour on machines, for example. Step number 2. Set a concrete goal with practical actions. "I want to have a nice physique" is a vague and subjective affirmation. Committing to training at least 3 times a week without missing a session is far more effective. Avoid setting goals based on strength, weight loss, or clothing sizes initially. You can't predict how your body will respond to training. Instead, set a goal that promotes consistency. Progress will follow naturally. Step number 3. Track the achievements. Immediate feedback is one of the reasons why video games are so enjoyable. You shoot and see your shots hit, the enemy lights up in red, and when it dies, it may drop powerful equipment. If you track your results, you'll be able to see your progress clearly. Not only will this be useful to stay motivated, but it will also be very useful to improve your training, revealing your strengths and weaknesses. Step number 4. Once you've tracked your progress, strive to exceed it. Remember the principle of progression. Improving your training parameters is a fun game that yields substantial physical improvements. Step number 5. Approach your training with lightness. Many people fail to notice their improvements until someone points them out. Don't berate yourself for indulging in calorie-rich food sometimes or missing a few gym days. Cultivate self-compassion, enjoy the journey, and savor the exercise itself. Results will follow effortlessly. Step number 6. Avoid chasing perfection. Perfectionism is a paralyzing ailment that stifles progress. Embrace mistakes as opportunities for learning. Remember, it's consistency, not perfection, that yields results. This is the secret. Those who compete have long surpassed these steps. They began their gym journeys, perhaps to accompany a friend, then developed a passion for training. Eventually, after they got an amazing body, someone may have pointed out their potential to compete, catalyzing additional sacrifices. We often fail when we coerce ourselves into action. Self-imposed limitations trigger psychological mechanisms that unconsciously drive us to break free. It's akin to telling a child not to do something. Inevitably, it becomes the very thing they desire most. While adults possess more self-control, certain dynamics persist. If we view the gym as an obligation, our subconscious will inevitably rebel. In conclusion, besides keeping in mind the 6 points I've listed, it's crucial to shift your mindset. Instead of thinking of it as scaling a giant mountain, simply consider to step into the gym that 3 days a week. Every time, add a small piece to the puzzle. You'll find that without self-imposed psychological pressure, you'll naturally feel inclined to do a little more each day. I assure you, with a little patience, if you stick it out until you start seeing some real progress, the rest will be a breeze. Thank you for your attention, brothers and sisters. If you've made it to the end of the video, it means you've already shown an interest in your well-being, and I congratulate you. I want to assure you that the journey has only just begun. In the upcoming videos, we'll explore new horizons of fitness, from nutrition to training, from motivation to overcoming plateaus. No Brasians, no gimmicky theories. I'll simply share with you what I do as a profession, explaining as clearly as possible the same principles I teach my clients. I promise you valuable content that will help you achieve your health and fitness goals. So, if you want to discover the fitness secrets and unveil the truth, stay tuned.